Welcome to my newest showcase for my next wire patch geometry pattern maker. So I've been interested in this idea of creating simple shapes that do a lot of great things. So I've created this kind of pattern programming kind of thing that will do all kinds of different shapes and can be easily modified and do all kinds of crazy things. I've been inspired by a lot of the things that I've been seeing online. I have a whole pile of Pinterest things that I look at and I say, oh, I really like this, and I think this needs to be modified this way, and this is really interesting, but I don't like that. And so I end up making these just kind of wild, crazy, fanciful kinds of projects that I think that people would find interesting because they tend to do these things with programs like After Effects to do looping animations. And in this particular case, I've kind of given them all the options they would ever, I think that they would ever want or need in a single patch to do all kinds of different things. Very geometrical kind of shapes. And so that's how this all kind of came to be. I wanted to give people this option to kind of have these audio reactive kinds of moments where you could set up your FFT and have just lots of fun playing with it as much as I have. I have different kinds of setups that can be done and can create all kinds of range of geometrical shapes. The idea spawned from this idea of like a circle that had like just the offset of the middle circle from the inner circle, and I thought that is kind of a visually interesting thing. It's something that that just is this kind of like, it creates this echo that looks like it's off in the distance, and then you have the circle around it that is just slightly off as well, and it creates this kind of this moment. So if I can just adjust here, so like this, or actually would be more on this end. And so you get this kind of geometrical moment where it feels like this shape has like a depth in where the red and the light blue are, or the teal, versus the darker blue. And so I just thought, yeah, I mean, there's lots of things where that kind of genre is important. But in any case, there's lots of different options. You have the option to change the size and shape of just about everything that I could think of. The size of the actual lines themselves. So there's an inner edge, min and max kind of thing. And you can slide them, so you can have like let me just turn this off real quick. You can have like an inner shift and an outer shift with the lines and color. So I can bring this in. Right at this moment, I believe my skews are too high. They need to be 0.5 to be a little bit more within range, and it's because I used the color skew and the line skew to make the line thicker and just the blue striping through the red. But it's based on a gradient, so I have the gradient skewed one direction, which basically makes that singular line look. But I added all kinds of different things in here. The inner shift, you can see that the color shift is shifting between the two pieces. And it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can just kind of increase this a little bit here. If I increase the thickness on this end, now when I rotate through, wrong option. When I rotate through, you get more of the rotation. And it's also set to ping pong, so it's not as like delineation. The delineation is not as strong. So there's all kinds of different options here. So here we go. So now you see that it's like you're really getting a delineation between the blue and the red. So if I shifted the timeline, now I've got this like sifting through, or it's the pattern is rotating through those two colors. So yeah, both sets, the inner circle set and the outer circle, or the inner circle set, excuse me, and the outer circle set are on their own gradients. As you can see, obviously, so you can. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. I've been tinkering with this for so many weeks at this point because I've had multiple different setups. But I just kind of took all those ideas and kind of brought them into one. I was interested in this idea of doing geometrical shapes. This one was interesting, but this one needs a lot more help. It's just an idea right at this moment. I'm trying to think through how I can set this up so that people will like understand what it is that I'm thinking behind the scenes, how it's all configured. And this one was just kind of like, this was the first test because I thought this was obvious. It started with this, and then I moved on to this, or excuse me, this. And then I saw something similar to this, and I thought this is visually interesting. But then I made a final iteration, which is what you see before you. So in any case, that's my patch. Hope you guys like it. I will look forward to hearing from you all, and thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.